Support Name Explain on Patreon for $1 a month to enjoy ad-free videos, exclusive content, your name at the end of each video, as well as the chance to have your idea for a Name Explain video made into reality. Go to patreon.com/Name Explain or click the link down below.
Up and down might very well be the quintessential opposite words. We all know what opposites are, right? Words that mean the inverse of one another. Pairs of words like hot and cold, in and out, wrong and right, and all the other ones Katy Perry listed off in her 2008 banger. How's Katy Perry doing these days? I haven't heard from her in a while. She was like the defining voice of my teenage years. Man, when the 2010s nostalgia finally booms, she's going to be in the front and center of it. Anyway, while these kinds of words are often paired together, they mean completely different things, hence why they're opposites. This means that in most cases, you wouldn't use an opposite word in place of the word that will make more logical sense. For example, if it was really warm one day, you wouldn't be inclined to shout, "I'm so cold today," unless you were being sarcastic or ironic or something. Though there is a situation where words that are opposites of one another pretty much all the time mean the exact same thing. Those being the opposites we kicked this video off with. Up and down. Most of the time, these words mean completely different opposing things. Up means to go upwards, and down means to go, well, you guessed it, downwards. This can be literal, like going up and down a flight of stairs, or more metaphorical, like going up or down a rank in a workplace or video game. They're about as opposite as things get, yet in English we have a pair of phrases where up and down mean the exact same thing, those being the phrases of up for something and down for something, as well as their variations. Both these phrases mean that you're happy to do something of some kind, and they can be used as a question as well as an answer. For example, if someone said to you, "Are you down to go bowling?" you could say, "I'm up for that." Or if they said to you, "Are you up for going bowling?" you could say, "I'm down for that." Both these sets of questions and answers mean the exact same thing. Both questions imply, "Do you want to go bowling?" and both answers are a resounding yes, despite the fact that both the words of up and down were used across them. Being down for something doesn't imply you don't want to do the thing, which is pretty odd given that down in most cases has a negative connotation, like feeling down meaning you are feeling sad. If, however, you don't wish to do the thing on offer, you could instead say, "I'm not up/down for it," which could possibly add to the confusion. These up for it/down for it phrases are used fairly regularly in the English speaking world, and the uniqueness of these phrases has become pretty easy to overlook for native speakers of the tongue, though it is really quite strange, especially for non-native English speakers. This video actually came into being via a thread I posted on Threads. Oh yeah, I'm on Threads. Go follow me there if you're one of the few dozen people still on there. I just use it to post silly little musings like I did on Twitter before I got sick of Twitter. If that's the kind of thing you might be into, then go check it out. But when I shared this on Threads, someone did in fact tell me they found the phrase hard to wrap their head around as a non-native speaker. So these mundane phrases can be really hard for non-speakers to decipher. We don't seem to be sure exactly on how English was able to produce these two phrases, featuring opposite words which mean the exact same thing. The leading theories, however, according to some Quora posts I found on the matter, relate to how we've historically shown that we're interested in partaking in something. Being up for something is seemingly older than being down for something. It may come from the time where we would raise up either ourselves or our hand to show we're interested in an activity. This is something we still do to this day. Raising hands in school, for example, to show you want to go outside and play with the parachute or something. Is that still a thing kids go crazy for? Damn, I love the parachute. All I want in my adult life is to listen to Katy Perry and play with the parachute. Instead, I'm doing this literal dream job of making YouTube videos. Tough times. Back on track. It's easy to see how this physical action of standing up or raising your hand up could translate into the world of spoken language. Someone might say, "Stand up if you want to go to the theatre tonight," and then people would stand up or even say, "I'm up," or even say, "I'm standing up for that," which would have eventually evolved into just, "I'm up for that," even when the physical action of actually standing up or putting your hand up isn't needed. Being down for something may have come from a different physical action, one that doesn't require you to convulse either your entire body or part of your body in a vertical manner. Being down for something is hypothesized to come from the idea of writing your name down on a list to show you're interested in partaking. Someone might say, "Write your name down if you want to come to the party," and all the party people would write their names down, maybe even saying, "I'm putting my name down for that," which once again could have evolved into just, "I'm down for that," without the need to actually write your name down. down at all. These are just theories I ought to add, but they make a lot of sense. To try and figure out more of these phrases' histories, I turned to my old friend the Oxford English Dictionary. While the word of up obviously does have its own entry, the phrase of up for it does not. The closest we get is the entry of up for, which is defined as liable to, having to submit to, due to receive, under consideration for, having been proposed for, and we use it in phrases like I'm up for a promotion. While not entirely the same as the phrase up for it, the two could be linked. I could see the phrase of being up for a new opportunity evolving to mean you are up for doing something or another. This phrase, according to the OED, dates back to 1918, as that's their earliest recorded evidence of it being used. Down for it does have its own entry, however, being defined as slang, originally in Chiefly US, eager, ready, willing, usually in to be down for something, and dates to 1952. This adds to the idea that up for it came first too. Whatever the case, these two phrases featuring opposing words yet meaning the same thing entered English and have been in pretty constant use ever since, both seemingly having their origins in American English as well. Well done, American English, you win this one. There is some debate, however, over if they do in fact mean the exact same thing. Some people feel that saying you are down for something means you are more willing to partake in it than saying you are up for something. I can kind of see this, I suppose. Like, I can imagine myself being asked something like, hey, do you want to go get pizza tonight? And if I was really into the idea, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm down for that. While if I wasn't as interested, I'd be like, yeah, I'm up for that, I suppose. That's just me, but this isn't set in stone by any means. I'm sure there are many people out there who would say they're up for something with more enthusiasm than saying they are down for something. There is also some debate over who is more likely to use what phrase, with one source thinking that up for it is used more by the older generation, and down for it used more by the younger generation. The source I got this information from have a chart and everything, so it must be legit. This is a really weird case of words that are opposites of each other pretty much all the time, meaning the exact same thing. It must be super confusing for people learning English to come to grips with this, as I already mentioned. I'd love to know if other languages use up and down in this way to express enthusiasm for an event. Let me know if you know. Yet up and down only really mean the same thing in the case of these specific phrases. What I was curious to know is if there are any other cases of opposite words meaning the same thing, in not just one specific instance, but pretty much all the time. And to my surprise there is. There's a specific group of words which are referred to as anti-autonyms. These are pairs of words which mean the same thing, although the words seem like they should be opposite of each other. This is the category of word up and down fit into when being used in the phrases this video is all about. Perhaps the most famous example of a pair of anti-autonyms are the words flammable and inflammable. This one has been talked about forever amongst friends and online. It would make logical sense for inflammable to mean it can't be set on fire, but no, they both mean something can be set on fire. Why this is the case, however, is honestly something that could be a video unto itself. Other examples are words like loosen and unloosen, which both mean to make something loose. Unloosen doesn't mean to make something tighter. Likewise, we have pricey and priceless, both meaning expensive, though I guess you could use priceless to describe something with no value at all, but no one ever does that. There's even another set of phrases which is an anti-autonym, that being the phrases of I could care less and I couldn't care less. Both mean you don't care at all about the issue at hand. This is a strange one. Most people actually say I could care less, which I've always thought makes no sense. I couldn't care less, however, is way more accurate, yet people insist that this is the wrong one. It seems like the more popular / incorrect I could care less started life as a colloquial form of the more correct I couldn't care less, and then went on to usurp it. This annoys me and is something I wish I actually could care less about. And another kind of interesting word that relates to all of this are a set of words which are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum of these anti-autonyms, those being contronyms. These are singular words that can actually have complete opposite meanings. An example of this is with a word like dust. To dust can either mean remove small particles, like dusting a shelf, or to add small particles, like dusting a cake with icing sugar. Yeah, if a recipe asks you to dust a cake, don't get the feather duster out. That'd be silly. Overlook is another example of this too. Overlook can mean to focus on everything, like how a balcony can overlook an entire city, but it could also mean to not view something, usually on purpose, like you may overlook a spelling mistake in a video because you're enjoying it anyway. Seriously, don't get too upset about typos, it's not worth it. Words can be seriously tricky things to say the least. Just when you think you have finally gotten your head around a specific word and its various meanings, then all of a sudden you find out it can mean the exact opposite too. This is the case with words like contronyms, antonyms, and of course the words this whole video was about, up and down. While it might be infuriating for many people, I really like them. They're a reminder of just how silly words can be. When it comes to talking about these sorts of words, you could say, I'm completely down for it. Or up for it, I suppose? Whatever.
Name Explain depends on viewers like yourself supporting the channel financially on Patreon, so a huge thank you to everyone who does. Donating just $1 a month helps the channel amazingly and gets you bonuses including ad-free videos, exclusive content, the power to request ideas to be made into actual Name Explain videos, and your name at the end of the video with all these awesome people. Visit patreon.com/Name Explain or click the link down below to find out how you too can support the channel. Thank you. Thanks for reaching the end of the video. Why not watch another and subscribe to keep up to date on all things Name Explain. You can find myself on Instagram where I'm NameExplainYT and join the Facebook group Friends of Name Explain to talk with myself and other name nerds. All that will be linked down below. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and once again, thank you all so much.